Hi everyone, I'm Dave Mulvanna. Dan Schultz here to my left, Mike Gowan to my right. How we doing today, guys?
Doing great. Good.
We're heading into our makeup week, week 8. We're going to be recapping week 7 here today. So let's start off with Urban Promise.
Well, it would be week 8, right?
This would be week 8,
And-
but yes,
It was week 8 for half.
Mike, I'm trying to.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to get started in the game here. And you're trying to
Interrupted
get me
my
you're trying to get me
host
on a technicality. Urban Promise Wilmington versus Blue Devils. Blue Devils, from the looks of the score at least, looks like they dominated this game. Final score 67-31. Were Urban Promise fans, were they in attendance?
Yeah, they almost brought the roof down. I was on Tatnall 1 watching the game, and I heard this, the crowd screaming. I went over there, and Urban Promise was down like 25 points, and they were still screaming.
Well, they bring a lot of energy. So,
Yeah. The fans deserve better, though. I mean, let's be honest. The Blue Devils are a very good team. Don't get me wrong, but Urban Promise Wilmington, after showing a lot of promise last week by keeping it close with here we go again. Put this game out. I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting them to beat the Blue Devils, but I think it was realistic, especially after the way they played last week, that they could have stayed competitive, maybe kept it within 10 or 15. Eventually maybe lose by like 20 or something like that. But to be beat by 36 points.
They showed glimpses of being good, glimpses of getting that first win.
Dan, let me go
Yeah,
back.
must have been early in the game.
They just can't put a whole game together.
Dan, let me go back to what you just said a minute ago. When you said the Blue Devils are a good team, there were times in your career on this show where you called the Blue Devils a great team. Are they no longer a great team?
They're a very good team. I wouldn't call them. I'm not sure I would call them a great team anymore, just because. Not to keep going back to them, but Dave Henninger really completed their team. I mean, he was the guy in the middle that they ran their offense through, and
But they have Pat McCusker.
Yeah, that's got to be a slap
Hey,
in the
Pat.
face to Pat.
Wow.
Pat is very good, but he's not as good as Dave. I'm just gonna be honest.
Pat.
I'm just gonna be honest. He's not as good as Dave.
We don't
he's
even
not
know.
as tall.
He's not even the best McCusker, so
He's
that's fair.
He's not even the best McCusker,
And that
obviously.
shows this weekend. Let me take my name tag off.
So, no, I'm not taking any shots at anyone. I'm just saying Dave really completed that team. They depended on him a lot. That's when you saw the Blue Devils teams make the finals a couple times, I think. So, and they're just not at that level yet. I mean, I think they could get back to that level. Chemistry is obviously a factor, and they're getting more used to each other as the season goes along. So, I'm not completely outruling them. I'm just going to say that their road to the finals is definitely a lot more difficult without Dave.
Now, do you think the Tigers are a great team?
Tigers are a great team.
Blue
Absolutely.
Devils beat the Tigers.
No, they lost him.
No, they beat them.
No, they lost him in overtime.
Then who'd they beat? They beat someone good. I remember walking in and talking to Isaiah about it.
The Blue Devils are a top 7 team.
They're top
They're not
7
into the elite top 3 or 4 category yet.
Correct.
C.J. Brown, 22 points. Frank McCusker, 22 points. Pat with only 14 this week, but
He was 5
4
for 5.
rebounds. 5. So he was perfect from the floor.
Well, except for free throws, 3 of 6. But other than
Oh.
that, yeah, have to notch that down. But yeah,
We're just getting Pat all pumped up for the playoffs.
exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Tigers versus Grim Squad. The Tigers, I think we can all agree, are an elite team this league.
It's a nice segue into what we were just talking about with the Tigers. Yeah, Tigers are a great
I'm
team.
telling you.
Huh?
They got beat, I'm telling you.
Yeah, the Tigers were beat.
Yeah,
I
they've
think they
been
were beat by the Crew.
Yeah, I think they got beat by the Crew. But Tigers are still a great team. And their offense, I mean, Rakeem Anderson, 22 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Stacey Grady with 15 points, who's been Stacey's been great in his last season here. He's just been, I think he's surpassed expectations at this point.
I think Stacey still has a lot of basketball left in the tank.
I think if he retired now, no one would blame him. I think if you always want to go out on top. You never want to just go out as like some 12th man when you're like a star in the league.
Is he a HAC Hall of Famer?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves over there. I like him just as much as the other Stacey Grady fans, but we have to be realistic here. Quanah Chase also double-double, back to double-double, 11 points.
Sir.
10 rebounds.
I told him he had to. You know what? I was gonna write him off if he did it this week. We were gonna be talking the same way you talk about Stacy, about Quanah, if he didn't put up that weekly double-double again.
But just, a good all-around balanced effort. I mean, your lowest scorer was Jermaine Daniels and Kendall Lusher with 8 points. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You had 6 players, only 1 sub, and they still, beat Grim Squad pretty handily. So, yeah.
Rocky Anderson, 22 points.
Yeah.
And also 6 assists, 6 rebounds.
I mentioned
6
that.
steals.
I was.
Oh, he had 6 steals.
It was such a great
The
game. I
classic
was
Oh,
at.
okay.
The classic 22.
2-6-6-6.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Might have to change one.
We'll give him a
So
7.
7,
something. Wow. Grim Squad still looking for their go-to scorer.
Yep.
Only one player in their team, Ray Palladino, in double figures with 10 points. But I mean, the Tigers get after it on defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, with Grim Squad, I mean, there's only one player double-figure shot attempts to. So that says a lot. Yeah, they need a go-to scorer, and I think Alex Winwood was that for them last year. He obviously hasn't played for them this year. But Zach is more than capable of being a go-to scorer. He's had an off year. So, with the playoffs beginning soon, I think that's when teams start anew and hopefully can find you can start fresh and find momentum in that stage.
Next up, we have the Best Squad coming off of a tough loss from the Crew last week versus Brothers. Final score in favor of Best Squad, 75-63.
A little closer than I thought.
Well,
They were missing.
yeah, not to take away from the Brothers keeping it somewhat close, but they were missing all the Savage brothers and cousins and their cousins and friends and stuff. They were missing they're missing them, and they have 5 players.
Okay.
But Adam
That's a
Ahern,
good way.
strong game, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Kamar Johnson, 23 points, 15 rebounds, and Chad Johnson.
Chad
12.
Ochocinco?
Well,
I think we have this wrong.
12
'cause
and 12.
I think Elliot Johnson was there. Pretty sure he was.
Elliot Savage.
Yeah, Elliot Savage.
Elliot was there.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
So
They had
Elliot, let us
6
know if
players.
you were there or not.
They had 6 players there, I know that, and there's only 5 here. So we're missing somebody. You probably did this game, didn't you?
No,
I only do what's given to me. Brothers, on the other hand, David Todd, 21 points, who continues to be a strong scorer for Brothers. And AJ Hicks, another strong performance, 20 points. Calvin Hux, 18 points. But, I mean, you have 3 strong scorers there, so I'm just guessing they weren't playing very much defense.
Yeah, well, the Best Squad, despite having only 5 guys or 6 guys, and so you have 1 substitution, they shot 50% from the field. I mean, that's really, really good. So chalk it up to bad defense or efficient offense, I don't know, I didn't see the game, but whenever a team shoots 50% from the field, it more or less hints at not a lot of defensive gameplay.
Agreed. Next up, we have Dynasty versus Toon Squad. Toon Squad got their 3rd victory.
I think I called this one.
You're welcome, Toon Squad. I was a believer in you from the beginning on the 3-win
Yeah, but
thing.
you picked against them.
Doesn't matter.
in this game.
Doesn't matter. I told Derek after the game, I said that I did that to get you, all riled up and all motivated so you could get that 3rd win and make me look like a genius, and he did. To his credit, he did. And I was a believer in the 3-5 record all year long. I stuck up for them. And I'm just so proud of them as a forward B division team to get this far and get their 3rd win in the A division. It says a lot to me. I'm done.
That's a little sarcasm.
Now, Mike, you did pick Toon Squad to win this game.
I did.
They got a
pick Toon
1-point victory.
Mhm.
So, I mean, clearly anyone could have gone either way in this game.
Right.
So, what does this mean for your picks going forward?
I've been telling you guys for weeks that my picks are always right.
I don't know about always. You did get this one right, and that's all we've been hearing about.
But that's not the only one I got right, so I mean we can just go down the list.
We don't have to do
Yeah, I mean,
that.
if we counted up our wins and losses like he did last season, I'd probably have a 0 in the loss column.
No, that can't be right.
No, that can't be right.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's right.
You picked. I think you picked Dan's team to lose in the B division this week.
That's true. By
That's
like
at least
20
one wrong.
By like 20 or 25.
This is the
We'll get to
A-Division
that.
video. Don't
We'll
talk
get
about the
to
We're
that.
just talking about overall records.
Dave, we'll get to that.
Dynasty, Omar Turner only putting up half of the production he put up last week.
Unbelievable.
How can you go from 29 points all the way down to
Unbelievable.
14?
You are not allowed to have an off
And
game.
he was 8 for 10 last week. Now he was 4 for 10. Literally half the production.
Doesn't he know he's not allowed to have an off game in this,
He
in
cannot.
this league?
He cannot.
It's not. He's not human. Okay, he's not allowed to be. To have an off game. He needs to be on 24/7.
If Omar gets 2 more points, they win this game.
That's true.
So you're chalking up, you're giving the loss to Omar?
Yeah.
I'm putting it completely on his shoulders.
It's only fair.
Especially because we know he can do it.
Yeah.
We saw him last week, so
And
he doesn't get a pass anymore.
He doesn't get a pay. He's the captain of the team.
He needs to lead them to victory.
I can agree with that.
Kyle Wilkinson, strong game, 16 points. We'll get Toon Squad, Derrick Henry, 12 and 6. His reboundings went down since early on in the season.
Yeah, that's a little concerning. Because that's not, the Derrick Henry in the beginning and middle of the season was getting like double doubles and just rebounding like a beast. 6 rebounds, Derrick? I don't know.
Well, I think the long season
Yeah.
of the A division, it really takes a toll on you.
It's grinding.
It's hard to put up that kind of production
Grinding
for the
over this.
full 8 games.
I'm sick of you guys talking down about Team Squad.
What's
We've
up
already
with
been
that?
over this.
What did I just say? I'm proud of them. I predicted this
Yeah, but now
grade
you're
5.
talking down on Derrick Henry.
I'm just saying,
He's part of Team
I'd
Squad.
just like to say, as a big Derrick Henry fan, I'd like to see his rebounding up a little bit.
I
That's all
told
I'm
you
saying.
why. Aaron is another big man. You can't have
Listen,
all the rebounds.
that's true, but you can get at least 10 rebounds. And you can have that double-double, so I can talk even better about Derrick Henry's performance.
You haven't
That's all
said
I'm
one
saying.
good thing about Derrick Henry.
That's not true.
Derrick, you're doing a great job. Great job.
What do I have to do here? I don't know.
I don't know if we also Lonnie Ward 15 points, strong game from him and 17 boards. You guys already
17
mentioned
boards.
Aaron 13 rebounds, solid game for him. Next up we have Hot Shots A, a shorthanded Hot Shots A versus the Crew, who Crew went up big early in this game. Hot Shots A was able to battle back to make it close for a little while, but the Crew they just had too much.
I think if you have a full-strength hot shot, say they win this game.
I think you're wrong.
You look down and have Jeff Jones and you don't have Luis Santiago. 3 big players. You don't have Jawan Carter. You don't have Jawan Carter and Jeff Jones, 2 guys that have been averaging at least 20 points a game. And then Luis Santiago, another really good player, scores about 10 or 15 points. Good defender. So I think that's like 40, 50 points on the board right there. What are you talking about?
40, 50.
They only lost by 12. Yeah, that's like 40, 50 points. Okay, you take away maybe
Yeah,
maybe
the
Edmund
Crew is
doesn't-
probably toying with them.
All right, that's disrespectful. I think Hot Shots A deserves a little more
You
respect.
think
than
those
that.
guys, if those guys are there, the Crew doesn't play 10 times harder?
I don't know. I mean, I still think you got to play. They played their opponent the same way they played their other opponents. I think this would have been a much closer game. I think Hot Shots A would have had a shot to win this game if they were at full strength. That's all I'm saying. They didn't.
We'll never know
We'll never know.
until they meet in playoffs.
Yep.
If they
that's
meet in
true.
playoffs.
That's true.
Edwin looks like he tried to do everything he could do to keep them in the game. 34 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and Akeem Tucker 17 points. Hami with a big 3-pointer. Hami played the entire game. Showed that endurance. We look at the Crew, Teron Moon, who has to probably be up there as a candidate for MVP. He would have to be. He does it all for the Crew. Corbin Horsey, 21 points. Ricky Anderson, 19 points, only 9 rebounds.
I know. Speaking of the Derrick Henry curse of not getting, at least 10 rebounds a game. I mean, come on,
He
man.
leads the league in rebounds. Ricky does.
Okay, then he should prove it. He should have more than 9 rebounds.
Mike loves
Prove it
standing
to
up for
me.
the rebounders.
Yeah.
Mike likes standing up for
He
the
leads the league in
rebounders.
rebounds. You're yelling at him for not only having 9.
You should have 10. I
Jeez.
like players that get double-doubles every game.
From now on, if Ricky doesn't get 10
Michelle.
rebounds, we're not even going to talk about his rebounds.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Yeah.
But, you know, another strong win for the Crew. They stay undefeated. Next up, we have Flightskin versus WSI. WSI with a big win this week. Mike, your boy, very solid performance. I'll let you talk
Told
about
you
it.
he's back.
Let you take it from there.
WSI's back. Jeremy Jean's back. Mike Boyd never went anywhere. Ford Essen was an all-star. This is a good team. I've been trying to tell you all year.
I don't think anyone ever doubted that WSI used to be a good team.
Yes,
They still are. They're back.
their record says otherwise.
Just wait till the playoffs, Dan. Wait till the playoffs. I mean, what more can you ask for? Jeremy Jean, 25-5. Ford Essen, 19-7. Mike Boyd, 20-12. What more can you ask for?
You're like the basketball Don King over there right now.
What more can you
Mike,
ask
I hear
for?
what you're saying, but they beat Flightskin.
So, win's a win.
That is true.
They're back.
On paper. But
I've been telling you
Let me
for
rephrase that.
3
They
weeks,
beat,
they're back.
they beat a team who named their team Flightskin.
here goes
They're
after
back,
team name
Dan.
again. Dan is not able to get past this team name.
I've been telling you for how many weeks now? 3-4 weeks that they're back?
Dorsey, you need to sit down with Dan and have a nice, not so nice conversation about leaving your team name alone. Because I've had it with him on this. So you need to sit there and talk to him, Brian. I just heard too much.
I could just hear
Speaking of Brian, only 2 points. 0 for 2 from the three-point line.
Didn't he have 7 threes last week?
Yes, I don't know. He just he disappears some weeks. Disappearing act.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Flightskin was happy with their team play this week.
There, it doesn't look like there's much to be happy about across the board for Flightskin
Yeah.
this season. Next up, we have Bird Gang versus Drunk Monkey.
I think the Drunk Monkeys might not lose. Let me rephrase it. What was the thing you proposed last week? Drunk Monkey.
Who is going to? Are the Sixers going to win first, or is Drunk Monkey going to lose a game first?
Yeah, I'd go with the Sixers winning a game first at this point.
The Sixers won't win one until next season.
Yeah, probably.
So that means Drunk Monkeys at that point. Geez, we could be another 16 to 30 games.
I got them going down this week. Drunk Monkey. Got them going down
This
this
week?
Make-up week.
All right, we'll
We'll
get-
talk about
get to
the
that.
preview,
We'll
but-
get to that. John Bird, 30 points, 11 of 24 shooting. I need him to be a little more efficient.
11 to 20. That's
Only 4 rebounds.
I need John up in the 60 to 65% shooting percentage range. That's just the expectations I have of him.
it's
Right.
a little high.
I hold him to a higher standard.
Mark London only attempting 4 shots is a disgrace to the game of basketball.
Mark London.
I agree with you. He needs more shots.
I've been breaking Mark London down all season for this purpose and this purpose alone. Playoff basketball is right around the corner. It's time for Mark to shine, and he will. They're going to finish up this last game. Actually, I think they played on the snow week, so I think they're off this week. I have to
Yeah, remember
double check
Mark
that.
didn't show up.
No, there we go again. But Mark is a gamer come playoff time, and he will perform.
He will. I agree. I agree with you.
I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would be betting on Mark for the playoffs. Mark's going to show up, and he's going to lead this team to a first-round victory.
You're saying a lot of things right now, champ. Maybe you should stop talking for a while.
A little Anchorman quote. Very nice. Rodney Duncan, only 8 points, 2 of 11, had an off game, that's okay. Shawn Armstrong, 14 rebounds, good rebounding game for him. But Drunk Monkey is just that good, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I mean they had 4 guys in double figures. Larry Hines with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal. Then you got Brandon Tunnell with 19 points in the photo of the week. Daryl Johnson with 17 points. Daryl
That should be
Johnson.
another stat.
Daryl Johnson with 17 points, 10
3-time
rebounds.
the weekend.
Yeah, 3-time photo of the week.
Three-time.
Winner, candidate, whatever you want to call it. And then Mike Pettiford with efficient 5 of 6 shooting night, 10 points, 4 blocks.
He does everything for him.
Yeah.
Does everything for him. And a Steve Lee sighting, 5 points. That's what I'm talking about. When he can contribute like that, Drunk Monkey's even more unstoppable.
Do you think?
Absolutely. Our final game to cover, we have Rock Nation versus Here We Go Again. Here We Go Again is back. Brendan O'Brien, he's in a slump. Dan, you were in a slump earlier in the season. What advice would you, looking at that camera right now, and give Brendan O'Brien some advice?
Well, as a
Are you out of your
as a
slump?
seasoned what?
Are you out of your slump right now?
I would consider my last game. I think I'm out of it. As a seasoned 15% 3-point shooter, I want to give you a few words of advice. Keep shooting. Don't listen to what anyone has to say about your game. And number 3, you know yourself the best. Shoot with confidence. At the end of the day, your teammates are still going to love you. They might hate you if you play like that for 8 straight games, but you're going to have 1 or 2 off games. So keep shooting no matter what.
Well, I hear Brendan O'Brien has a weakness for sushi. And he went away from his pregame ritual of not eating sushi, and he ate it this week.
How do you know all this?
A lot of inside sources.
I think he may have had too many car bombs on Saturday night.
No, Brendan doesn't celebrate St. Patty's Day like that.
He told me he's Irish. What do you think?
Well, I'm just saying.
He said, "What do you think we did? We're Irish. I'm Irish."
Well, I like to think that Brendan will be taking this season and game a lot more serious than that.
Well, it's playoff time now.
Yes, and let's just say Brendan's performance is going to be looked at under a microscope for the remainder of the season with his last 2 performances.
Here we go again, still won by 15. And Brandon he's been off the last couple
Is the
games.
blueprint out? Just take Brendan out for some car bombs on Saturday night?
More importantly than how bad Brendan's performance was, Jake Royal, 20 points. Jake's going to give you 20 to 30 every game. And it's nice to be able to count on that, especially when some of the other players on Here We Go Again are having off games.
Mm-hmm. They had 7 guys show up. I think that's a team record.
All on time, too.
Wow. Well, I'm looking. I see Brendan's performance, and then I look down. and I look at X's performance. Only 1 for 4. Why is he only taking 4 shots? 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. He did get 8 rebounds, but at the end of the day, that performance isn't going to cut it come playoff time.
No, you're right.
I need X to step his game up, and I know he will. But that's what I
Are you
need.
going to talk about Keith Wilton's 10 points?
No.
No.
Okay.
Keith Wilson
Keith had a
10
good game,
points.
10 points, 5 rebounds. No respect for anybody, you too. No respect.
I would talk about Rock Nation, but I look at this, I don't even know who to talk about. I mean, Darren L had 14 points. Anthony, 10 points.
You don't want to say last name?
That's I'll leave that one up to Dan to say that last name. I won't even try it. Julius had an off shooting day. Maybe we chalk it up to Here We Go Against defense. I heard there was talk that they played defense this week.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, they held Rock Nation only like 33%, 36% shooting from the field. 1 is 16 from 3. Yeah, and you basically, if you contain Julius Gray, if you're able to take him out of his element, I mean, they're not. Unfortunately, Rock Nation is not that difficult to beat unless Darren L has like a monster game. When Julius and Darren L play well together, they're a very good team. But they need both of them to play well unless they're in trouble.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week. The only game that wasn't covered was because it was a forfeit. ACC wins beats Aflac to the forfeit.
Oh man,
They won 2-0.
2-0. I credited Brian Salter with the 2 points.
okay,
Sounds
good.
Good
Classy.
game.
All right, thanks for checking us out this week. We have the makeup schedule. It's up on the website now, so you can jump on there, check out. Don't go by when and where you were supposed to play the game back on February 9th, because we were having all the games over at Tattle. So sometimes changed, some courts changed, so please check that out. We'll also be emailing out the captains as well, just to make sure they're aware of it, because we know there's only about 3 people that watch this video. So, and, well, 2 of them are sitting here.
No, I don't watch that.
All right, thanks a lot for checking us out. Anything from you guys?
Nothing from me.
We will see everyone on Sunday.